Hello guys, hope you are doing well. Welcome to Wolf of Coding. Today I'm gonna discuss with you about how you can create a number guessing game using Java. So today our goal is to write a program that can take a random number by itself and ask the user to guess that number. So what packages do we need to import? So only java.util package is good enough to implement this code. So let's just do it. So by solving this problem, what new skills we will gain? We will learn about how to use random class in Java and how to generate a random integer number within a given range. So the workflow of this program is quite simple. You just have to create a class, declare main method, inside that create object of random class, set a range to generate a random number, inside while loop take input from user and check whether the user gets it right or not. That's all. So it's time to implement the program. So let's just jump into our compiler. So we are in our compiler. To implement this code, we first have to import a package. We have to import the java.util package because inside the java.util package we have all our necessary classes. We will be using scanner class and the random class. So first we have to create the object of scanner class inside the main method. So I'm just writing scanner is equal to new scanner system.in. After that, we have to create the object of random class. The random class will generate the random number for us. So for that, random rn equal to new random. So after the creation of object, we first have to set the upper bound and lower bound. So for that, we are setting the integer type variable upper bound as 100. So our upper bound will be 100. So we will be guessing a number between 1 to 100. So for that reason, I am setting the upper bound as 100 and the lower bound will be 1. After that, we have to generate a random number. So for that, I'm just taking an integer type of variable random num where I will store the random number. For that, I have to call the object ran.next and inside that I have to set a bound. So upper bound minus lower bound plus 1 and plus lower bound. So we are setting this bound as upper bound minus lower bound plus 1 and plus lower bound to generate a number between 1 to 100. And to make sure the number within our range, we are just adding the lower bound. And after that, we are just taking the integer type variable attempts as 0, which will count the attempt of the user, and a boolean variable guess correctly. And in that boolean variable, we are by default storing false. Why we are storing it false, I will explain it later. Now I am just showing some message for the user, just like welcome to the number guessing game made by Soutik. So welcome to the number guessing game made by Soutik. After that, we have to print another message just like this. I have chosen a number between 1 to 100. So now it is time to implement our logic to take the output. So I'm just printing another message just like try to guess it to make it more readable for the user. So after this, it is time to implement our logic. So we are just taking a while loop, and inside the while loop we are passing an argument as not equal guess correctly. So remember guys, we have already made the guess correctly as false. So whenever we will pass the guess correctly to the argument of while, and it is already mentioned not equal correctly, guess correctly, so it will by default true. So the loop will be continuously run until and unless we made the guess correctly as true. So when the guess correctly will be true, the not guess correctly will be false, and then we will be exit from the while loop. After that, inside the while loop we are sending another message, enter your guess. After that, we are just taking the input from the user by int user equal to sc.nextInt, and we are checking if the guess of the user lesser than random. So if the user guessed a number which is lesser than the random number, so the system will just print you guessed too low. And I will just increment the attempt variable. And then in the else if part, if user guessed a number and which is higher than our random number, so the system will print you guessed too high. And after that I have to again made the attempt, increment it. And if both of the condition false, that means user guessed not more than random number and not less than random number, so it must be the same as the random number. So for that reason, we have to declare a else part, and inside the else part we have to write congratulations, you guessed it right. So I'm just writing congratulations, you guessed it right. Or you can just write correctly as you wish. Also, I am printing the attempts made by the user to guess the right. So you guessed it in. Also, I am mentioning the number of attempts made by the user. And after that, I am just setting guessed correctly equal to true. And when the guess correctly equal to true, the loop will not execute anymore and will be outside the while loop. Also, we want to check if the user made 50 attempts wrong. That user already made 50 attempts, so the program will automatically end by showing that you lost. I'm setting the bound as 50. You can do whatever range you want. So in that case, the system will print you lost as you made 50 attempts. So after that, I am just writing the break statement. And here our code will be ended. So I'm just again explaining you line by line. So here you have to import java.util package, then scanner class, we have to create the object of scanner class, and then creation object of random class. Then we have to set the upper bound and lower bound, which is 1 and 100. You can customize it as per your need. And then we are just taking a random number by mentioning the object name and the next int, and setting the bounds as upper bound minus lower bound plus 1 to set the bounds. And then we have to declare a variable name attempts to check the attempt, boolean guess correctly false to check whether user is inputted correctly or not. And inside the while loop we have to do our implementation, which I already explained. So hopefully it is clear to you. So whenever the guess correctly will be true, the automatically it will exit from the while loop, and program will end. And until the guess correctly is true, program will be executed again and again, and until it is satisfied the attempts equal to 50 condition. When the attempts equal to 50, the program will automatically end. So let's just run this code. So as you can see, our program is already compiled, and it is the message showing welcome to the number guessing game made by Soutik. And then I have chosen a number between 1 to 100. Then try to guess it in minimum attempts. So I will enter a number randomly. Let's suppose it is 70. Pressing enter. So it is showing you guess too high. So I will lower the number. Let's suppose 50. So it will too low. Okay, so the number is between 70 to 50. So I will enter 60. So again it is showing too low. Then I will try to guess it as like 65. Okay, so the 65 is too high, so then try 62. Again too low, so 63. Again too low, so 64. And yes, and it is showing congratulations, you guessed it in 6 attempts. So that's how the program will work. So when I made the right guess, so this else will execute and it will print it the congratulations, you guessed it right, and in how many attempts it will also print. And if I guessed it wrong again and again, and after the 50 attempts it will automatically break the loop by printing this output you lost as you made 50 attempts. So that's how the code gonna work. If you have any doubts and any queries about this code, please let me know in the comment section. You can also message me on LinkedIn. I am available there. So you can comment and message me whatever you want, you can do it. Just clear your doubts. So that's all for that code. Now it is time to say goodbye to you. Don't forget to comment down your queries and anything you would like to learn in Java, just comment down. Also, thanks for your time, eat, sleep, code, and don't forget to subscribe.